Winemaking's been around for, it's crazy, 174 years, which is weird. But it's a sizable estate, 120 acres planted. And this used to be just like, we're going to make a bunch of wine off the estate. We're going to take everything from everywhere and make a few singular wines. So we've been getting increasingly just smaller and smaller and smaller tanks as we've been figuring out, and we saw them lined up. We cleared most of that out for the event that we have today. But you'll see increasingly smaller and smaller parts because we're seeing all these different blocks that over time we've identified. It's like, nope, that's different than that, and we need to treat that separately. So all these little separate components of winemaking space.
And just improving and kind of just learning as you go, I guess.
Fine tuning, always looking at quota selections, and honestly, a lot of this is getting more and more local. Like we're finding out more and more about the estate as we've been on it, and so getting back more to that heritage of it. Like we're thinking about planting a little bit of like Cap Pfeffer cuttings and Gret cuttings from the local other places. Just getting back to like heritage winemaking that we've had from this place from the very beginning.
So what are some of the wines that we are seeing that are going through your winery right now? What's some of the general winemaking practices you've got?
Sure. So it's a lot of Pinot Noir is the vast majority, but that's by far like what we do here. A couple of the cool pockets will do Chardonnay. We've got one little worn pocket that does the Grenache Syrah Mourvèdre, and right across from it, that's where it's like very, very marginal. We'll find something else, and that's everything that we have on site. Well, and a little bit of Pinot Gris. I forget about the Pinot Gris. Like it's so tiny, and the yields are so low that I forget about an entire hillside.
But it's just delicious.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's great wine, but I almost forget about it. It's like, and we have a few tons of that a year.
So tell me a little more about these Rhône varietals, the GSM blends. I mean, that's pretty particular to the Central Coast, much more than North Coast, Napa, Sonoma.
Sure. So when you look at, and I don't compare everything to European paradigms,
right?
Which is it's an easy trap for a lot of winemakers. But if you're to look at Burgundy, that flows into, even looking at Burgundy, Beaujolais is in the Rhône department. So you're actually flowing from Burgundy into Rhône as it starts to warm up, as you start going to the Mediterranean. So they're closer than one might necessarily think, particularly for a cool climate. So some of these things, we don't know if the Grenache or Mourvèdre are going to work. It is the first couple of years, they really, really struggle. And we've seen some pretty terrific results. And that's kind of what we do, is that very, very marginal winemaking where it just gets there, use the yields and your green harvesting and you're paying attention and you dial it in over time. Like it's just begging for extra work. But what else am I going to do?
Right, there you go. And it's at least retaining that acidity, a lot more concentrated flavors. There's a lot of good that goes into that.
Concentrated flavors, longer hang times, at lower sugars, and it's the way that I think it's supposed to be. Perfect.
Sounds good. Let's go try some of the wines.
Great, thanks.